Welcome to the Gazilons channel, where we discuss about knowledge and information for everyday life as well as a better future. Welcome. I am Kazi and I am a regular human with lots of interest. For today's episode, we are going to talk about a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich. Doesn't the title intrigue you? Think and Grow Rich, says Napoleon Hill. Is it even possible? I think it is. Let's dive into the book. The back side of the copy I have reads, and I quote: After interviewing over 500 of the most affluent men and women of his time, Napoleon Hill uncovered the secret to the great wealth based on the notion that if we can learn to think like rich, we can discover wealth and success. Unquote. So let me make this very clear to you. This book is not just any book that someone thought of writing about and went on to write it. For this, he interviewed more than 500 people who are on top of their field. He found out that they had many common behavioral traits that made them successful. He thought of sharing those traits to the world. Based on those interviews, he crafted a step by step process. If followed duly, that particular person will maximize the chance of his or her success. So let's go into the chapters from the book. Desire. The first very topic from the book. The first topic is desire. I feel this is by far the most important chapter of this book. At the end of this chapter, there are some lines. Let me read out those for you. I wish to convey the thought that all achievement, no matter what may be its nature or purpose, must begin with intense burning desire for something definite. I want to specify the two words. Burning desire is written in all capital letters, trying to specify that that's the main point here. I will now try to phrase this in simpler words. If you look back to any and all kinds of achievement, they always start from intense desire, which cries out from the inside of you, which is actually deeply rooted in your subconscious. And let's not get confused with you like something and now you want it. That's more of a superficial wish, which is very different than desire. Everyone wishes to be rich and successful. There's no one who doesn't want riches, but that's not an intense desire. The intense desire to be someone in life, to reach at some place, to be successful in the field of your choice, very few people have it. The kind of desire that constantly burning and not like on off. Now you need to ask yourself, do you wish it or do you have an intense desire for it? These days I hear people mentioning that they get all charged up to do something whenever they listen to some motivational speeches. But then after some time, they again fall back to where they were. In this scenario, the external speaker behaves like a kerosene on low burning fire. But after a point, the effect of kerosene wears out and the same low burning fire surfaces. Which means everyone has a wishful thinking that yes, I need money, I need this, I need that. All these are wishful thinking which surfaces only after you see someone else. But a burning desire for something definite is different, who know what they want. And this is very rare. The book further reads through some strange and powerful principle of mental chemistry. Meaning some chemical are released in brain when we desire for something definite. It becomes clear of what we need. The chemistry of our brain changes. And there is nothing mystical about this. It's pure science and it has been proven many times. Based on the change in chemistry, we start to run in that direction of desire. When an image is formed in mind, when something is definite on your mind, all the chemicals start to behave in a particular way. Only those chemicals are released which will help you turn that image into a reality. There's a red car theory on this which says once you decide you want a red car of a particular model, you begin to spot that red car on the road whenever you pass through it. Which means you get focused on what you want. You begin to have a direction. Your focus which was directionless will suddenly get a direction. In general, there are thousands of things running on mind, but for someone who is clear on desire that I want to do something, that person's mind will move towards one direction. And one major thing to mention is that just working on clear desire is not enough. We need to follow all the steps mentioned as well. Desire is a double-edged sword. It can make you successful as well as it can drag you down, making you drift away from the right path. So we need to be careful as well. The next chapter we're going to talk is about auto suggestion. And I feel this is another of the most important chapter from the book. The very first line from the chapter is written in all block letters, and I quote, "This is the medium for influencing the subconscious mind," unquote, which means our habits, the work and things we do without thinking. Think of riding a bicycle. In the beginning, when you are just about to learn it, or when you are just learning it, you haven't yet mastered it. You need to pay attention consciously. But once you have learned it, you no longer need to think about it consciously. You can think of something else, and still the bicycle will be upright and moving. The book further reads, "No thought, whether it be positive or negative, can enter the subconscious mind without the principle of autosuggestion." Autosuggestion can also be said as repetition. Autosuggestion means we are suggesting ourselves, which means we are repeating one particular thing in our brain. Any skill development requires practice and repetition. Autosuggestion helps you to change the desire you have to the burning desire. What do you mean by autosuggestion? Repetition, thinking of the same thing again and again. This helps to move our desire from conscious mind to subconscious mind. Do you know what will happen then? The thoughts will fire up without you having to think about it consciously. Let me again tell you this, without repetition, nothing will happen. So you need to repeat it. Whatever is that you desire, what is it that you want to be, think about it, the what, how, and why of your desire. You can watch videos related to it, read books related to it, so that our mind gets focused on one thing only. For example, you might have a burning desire to be excellent in a field, and note that the definition of excellence is different for different field. If you are a doctor, it's something else. For an engineer, it's something different. Likewise, it varies for every profession, be it lawyer, businessman, or whatever. You have to be clear about the definition of excellence in your field. Then you keep repeating it in your mind. This is what I want to become. This is what I want to achieve. Another of the most important chapter from the book, I feel, is imagination. There are some interesting lines here as well. The imagination is literally the workshop wherein all plans are created by man. The impulse, the desire is given shape in the imagination. The impulse is given form and action through the aid of imaginative faculty of mind. Napoleon tells us that imagination is equally important. In general, what do we understand by imagination? We are under the impression that it is reserved only for those people who are involved in creative field, right? No, not at all. That's where we lack to imagine about imagination. Everyone needs imagination. If you want to achieve something decent in life, you have to imagine about it. You might ask the question why? Because that's different than your current reality, because that's something you don't have currently, and that's something you would like to achieve at some point. Let's take an example. For example, you are a footballer and your current footballing skills and your current fitness level is at some point, but there is some other footballer whose skill and fitness level is at a whole different level than yours. Let's say if you are a 30 by 100, that person is 90 by 100. In that case, that's an end goal for you. In this case, you have to imagine yourself in that state and level of fitness, which might take a couple of years for you to reach there. You have to repeat this imagination through autosuggestion, so that the image of the kind of fitness level that you want externally as well as internally. Internally meaning your core strength foundation. This should be your imagination. Okay, even if I am at a particular level of fitness today, I am able to imagine and believe that in a couple of years I will be at that level where I can rate myself 90 by 100. You have to develop the imaginative faculty of mind. It is important to work on this as well. If you look around, be it anything that has been made by man, ranging from a needle to an airplane, today these all are reality, but at some point in time they were in someone's imagination, because of which they are in real now. Everything around us was an imagination at some point. Learn to grow that part so that it becomes a clear vision to you and you can walk towards it. Another important chapter is decision. You know, The book reads accurate analysis over 25,000 men and women who had experienced failure, disclosed the fact that lack of decision was near the head of the list of 30 major causes of failure. This is no mere statement of theory, it is a fact. Procrastination is the opposite of decision and a common enemy which practically every man must conquer. It says the biggest challenge coming your way is procrastination, meaning we push it to tomorrow. Lack of decision. Life is all about decision. What do you think life is if not decision? Every step there is a decision. Choosing not to decide is also a decision in itself. Generally, people think at the right time when the opportunity is at their door, but then the opportunity slips away and the person regrets. We have all seen and heard this all around us. Experienced people when sitting together, what do they talk about? Back in my younger days, I had an opportunity to do that at that time. If I had just acted upon it, my life would have been completely different. Then why didn't you do it? That's the question we all of us get, right? The reason behind it is fear. Another chapter in the book. Maybe in their eyes, the cost of failure was too high to bear, and that's why they didn't act upon that. The most important and big factor of failure is that they don't do nothing at all. Not because they do and fail in that, not at all. They just keep on thinking, procrastinating. They can't decide whether to do something or not to do it. They are always stuck in the middle. In other words, just do it today, do it now, act upon it. Hundreds and thousands of people think about doing it, but one among them steps a little out and does it. This is the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. Another chapter is persistence. The basis of persistence is a power of will, which means persistence is directly proportional to willpower. It must be strong enough, even when everything is going against us. At the time, also, we keep moving forward because that's bound to happen. Like changing seasons, similarly, things change in life. Not everything can be in our favor always. Based upon the size and scale you want to reach, similar kind of obstacle will come in your way time and again. Despite that, if you can move forward with your willpower, then you can achieve your target. No matter what is happening, we keep moving forward. It has been successfully and beautifully laid out by Martin Luther King Jr. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. That is called persistence, and that is by far the biggest quality in life, whether you are a student, employee, businessman, or anything. You might be anything, but you need persistence, because if you develop a habit of living with even the slightest of problem at your side, then you will keep on living, keep on running. And who is habituated to be present and face adversity, that person will face every situation and keep moving forward. Many times in life, such a situation arises that without facing them, you can't move forward. Your biggest fear is in front, blocking your way, and you can't move forward without conquering it. Whether your mind, body, feelings, and emotions are scaring you, even at that point, if you gather strength and keep moving forward, that's persistence. When you can say, I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but you know what? Let's find out. Let's try it out and see what happens. That is willpower. If you keep on marching forward against all odds, that is willpower. If you follow all the things said here in this book, Think and Grow Rich, being rich starts to seem very small to you. You can achieve much more than being rich. You will not just earn money, you will leave a legacy behind. And at the end, a couple of lines for you. Patience, persistence, and perseveration make an unbeatable combination of success. Thank you very much.